Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to talk about a very baffling subject, baffling for parents as well as kids and adolescents. The title of our subject is Nocturnal Enuresia. Nocturnal means nightly, Enuresia means urination, or we call it bedwetting. Bedwetting is very universal phenomena. Everybody in the world, children up to the age of 5, wet their bed. Bedwetting is found among all the kids up to 5 years old, and it's a normal phenomena. Parents have no any reason to worry about that. But when nocturnal enuresia sustains after the age of 5, and it happens, 10 plus million people in India suffer from this kind of maladies and much more all over the globe. Then it becomes a disorder. It becomes some kind of problem to concern. Mother should concern, parents should concern about it, and the person himself should also concern about this thing. There are some reasons, some causations, and the remedies are also available. Self-management is also there. First case of this nocturnal enuresia was found all the way back in 1550 BC. 1550 BC, before the Christ. And lately it was found by Dr. Zachariah in around 580 AD. So since we can say about 1500 years, this has been going on with us. And it was also found 1500 years before the Christ, means for the last 3500 years. This nocturnal enuresia has been with us. It is embarrassing disease. That is why most of the time we don't hear much about that. Nobody talks about it. Even the patient is embarrassed to go to the doctor and tell. So the patient suffers. Family members of the patient also suffer. They keep every single thing quite under the rug. They don't like to expose themselves, like person goes to doctor and say, I have flu and I have stomach upset and this, that and all that without any kind of embarrassment. Patient cannot actually face that kind of embarrassment going to the doctor, telling the doctor in front of other patient or other doctors that he suffers or she suffers from this kind of nocturnal or very embarrassing disorder. I prepare 4 points to elaborate what is this. Point number 1 is common phenomena among kids up to 5. Parents have no reason to be concerned unnecessarily or face any kind of anxiety about this kind of condition, because up to 5 is absolutely positively normal phenomena, and there's no any kind of reason to go to doctor or worry about this and all that. Only thing parents can do is send the kid to bed with empty bladder. Kids should not drink too much water in the evening time or couple hours before their bedtime. If the child's bladder is empty, child is not going to have this kind of problem. Otherwise, in REM, rapid eye movement, that is a time we are in a very deep slumber, every one of us. And during that period of time, everything happens. Thief comes into our home, home breaking happens, even the earthquake happens and we don't wake up. That is REM. So during that REM, child's bladder is full, or adolescent, adult, the bladder is full, but the bladder, even bladder send the messages to the brain, but brain actually cannot wake up the person who is in REM. And the person actually releases the urine in REM in his or her bed. So there are certain self-managements are there, self-treatments are there, and if these kind of treatments are taken care of, even child will never build wet. Next point is 1550 BC. Dr. Aber found this disorder. Dr. Aber was wondering about this disorder because he was suffering, himself was suffering about this disorder. He was suffering with this disorder. That's why he was very much worried about this thing, that why he suffers from this disorder, and he conducted research and found that this disorder is found among those people who suffer from different kind of maladies, not children, but adults, different kind of maladies, urological problems, prostate cancer, so many things were found associated with nocturnal Enuresia. Point number 3 is causation. What causes it? So they found that, first of all, the bladder size of the person who wets the bed is very small, is abnormal, smaller than the normal size of the bladder. Bladder is where person's urine is collected, accumulated, and when the bladder is filled to the rim, then this bladder is sending the message, and the person gets the inclination, gets the urge to urinate. Now this doesn't happen because the bladder is small, it fills up very soon, and the person doesn't have time to wake up, and that person wets his bed. Second is alcohol. Those people who consume lots of alcohol has also this kind of problem. The person who consumes lots of caffeine has also this kind of problem. Prostate cancer. Those people who suffer from prostate cancer also cannot control their bladder movement, and they have this kind of nocturnal Enuresia. Then is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea means a person doesn't get ample amount of sleep. And then when he goes to bed, then he goes into REM, rapid eye movement, so soon and so long that he does not feel anything, he does not get up to urinate or to pass his urine, even though the bladder is filled to the rim and the bladder has been sending constant messages, and the person does not get message, he does not wake up from his deep REM or deep slumber. It's genetic also. Parents had that kind of problem, the children are going to have that problem too. Next is urinary tract infection. Person has some kind of infection in the urinary tract, that where the blood from bladder to all the way, if there is any place where the infection has occurred, this person will not be able to control his bladder movement. Then urinary stone. A person's kidney or urinary tract has any kind of stone, then the same kind of condition will occur, and the person will not be able to control the bladder movement. REM is also one of the reasons. Rapid eye movement. Person goes into REM 4 to 5 hours. During that period of time, he goes into kind of metaphysical state. He doesn't know anything. Whatever happens in his surrounding, he cannot wake up. Even the burglar would burglarize the home, thief would come in the home, open the things, cupboard and all that, and steal every single thing. The person will not know anything about it. That is the time of the sleep that everyone on this planet has, and this time of sleep is known as REM period, rapid eye movement period. So during the rapid eye movement period, the bladder is full. Bladder has been sending the messages, but the person does not get message, does not wake up, and the person bedwets. Next is drinking excessive amount of fluid while going to bed. When person goes to bed at the time, some people have habits of drinking lots of water. If they drink lots of water at the time to retire at night, the bladder is full when they go to bed, and this can not be controlled during REM. So these are the causations. The treatments we're going to talk about now. We are going to shed some light on the very marginal, not serious treatment. There is no need to go to any doctor for the treatment. Whatever we discuss about the causation, if the person is going to take care of those things and those prevent those causations, meaning if right age, if doesn't have any kind of prostate cancer or does not suffer from any kind of malady or urine tract infection or anything like that, then he doesn't have to worry about that, but he has to worry about not to drink too much caffeine, not to take too much alcohol, and don't guzzle up too much water right at the time to go to bed. And slow down on consuming alcohol before the time to sleep, caffeine, and also slow down on drinking water. Like person goes to bed about 10 o'clock, he should stop drinking or slow down on drinking water from 7 o'clock, and it would and make it possible that bladder is empty. Otherwise, go to doctor and doctor is going to prescribe only sleeping pill. Sleeping pill means a person goes to bed and wakes up in the morning, and doctor is also going to advise you that don't drink water at the time of bed, and you have nothing to worry about that kind of nocturnal enuresia. But if nocturnal enuresia is found among kids under 5 years old, then don't worry. Only the worry is that the bed is made dirty by the kids, so parents should wake up kid after 4 hours and have him urinate. After urination, the child is not going to have any kind of problem of bed wetting. And the bed is clean, child is clean, but it would be a little bit troublesome for parents. The parents have to wake up themselves and they wake up the kids to urinate. So these are the causes and these are the treatments, and that's all the time we have. So thank you very much for listening, and tomorrow we're going to pick up some other subject and to talk about it. Until then, God bless everyone on this planet. Amen.